Morning students. So in my previous video I started discussion on this problem. So uh, I solved first part of this problem, and in this video I will solve remaining two parts. Okay, so the problem is about this rotating rigid cube. Okay, so it has a side length of unity and its sides were initially parallel to coordinate axes. Okay, as you can see in this figure. The cube is fixed about origin and it can rotate about a fixed axis passing through the origin. So this cube is doing fixed axis rotation, and there was a point P on the cube whose position vector was given by this vector, and then it is said that the cube rotates about the fixed axis, and at a later instant it is found that the OA, which was initially pointing towards the positive x-axis, which is I cap, after rotation points towards this vector I cap plus j cap, and OB, which was pointing towards y-axis, which is j cap, now starts pointing towards 2i cap minus 2j cap plus k cap. So we have to calculate new position vector P, position vector of point P after rotation, axis of rotation, and angle by which cube has rotated. So the first part we solved in the previous video. Now in this video we'll solve remaining two parts. Okay. So as you can see, all this calculation I did in my previous video. So we know unit vector alongside OA, initially it was I cap, and at the final position or final orientation it was I cap by root 2 plus j cap by root 2. Similarly, unit vector along OB, initially it was along j cap, and finally it is along 2i cap minus 2j cap plus k by 3. Okay, 3 is the modulus of this vector. Okay, I have divided it by 3. Similarly, we can also find initial unit vector along OC, which is perpendicular to OA and OB. So initially it was along k cap, and finally it will be along the cross product of these two vectors. So all this calculation we did in previous video. Okay, now uh, we also discussed that if there are two observers O1 and O2, where O1 is an observer which is fixed on the ground and O2 is an observer which is fixed on the cube and rotating with the cube, then any physical line on the cube will retain its orientation with respect to O2, which is the rotating observer. So I1 cap, J1 cap and K1 cap are the unit vectors along the along positive x, y and z axes of rotating observer. So at initial moment I1 cap was equal to I cap, because initially the direction of sides of the cube were along x, y and z directions. Okay. So all this we discussed in previous video. So at initial moment I1 cap equal to I cap, J1 cap is equal to J cap and K1 cap is equal to K cap. And at final moment I1 cap is I by root 2 plus J by root 2, J1 cap is 2I minus 2J plus K by 3, and K1 cap is root 2 by 6 I cap minus root 2 by 6 J cap minus 2 root 2 by 3 K cap. Now how will I find the axis of rotation? Let us find out. Okay. So now consider this particular diagram where this is any arbitrary rigid body which is rotating about a fixed axis of rotation. So this blue line represents the fixed axis of rotation about which this body is rotating. So for any rigid body, axis of rotation is a physical line on the rigid body about which the entire body is doing fixed axis rotation. So this is a physical line on this rigid body about which fixed axis rotation is taking place. Now any physical line on the rigid body will move as the body will rotate, okay, except this line. So axis of rotation will not change its orientation in the frame of reference of O2. Okay, so any physical line, so O2 is basically the rotating observer and O1 is the ground observer. So any physical line uh, on the cube or on this rigid body which is rotating about this axis of rotation, it will retain its, so it will rotate with respect to O1, which is the ground observer, but it will retain its orientation with respect to O2, which is the observer which is fixed with respect to this rigid body. So axis of rotation, because it is also a physical line which is fixed in this rigid body, so axis of rotation will not change its orientation in the frame of reference of O2, and in fact this is true for any physical line on this rotating body. Okay, with respect to O2, which is rotating observer, any physical line on this rotating body will retain its orientation. Okay. But since axis of rotation is fixed with respect to ground also, So with respect to ground also, this axis of rotation is fixed. So it will also retain its orientation with respect to O1, which is the rotating observer. So axis of rotation is the unique line on this body which will retain its orientation with respect to O1 as well as with respect to O2. So now we'll use this concept to find out the axis of rotation, the direction of axis of rotation. Now, as you can see in this particular diagram, in this particular slide, I have assumed that axis of rotation is along a I cap plus b j cap plus c k cap as seen by the ground observer. So now this will remain fixed with respect to the ground even after the rotation. So at initial moment, the axes of rotation of ground, the coordinate axes. So axes of rotation, this is wrong. Actually, it should be at initial moment, the coordinate axes of ground observer and rotating observer are coinciding with each other. So initial moment, the coordinate axes of the ground observer and this rotating observer, they are coinciding with each other. Therefore, for rotating observer at initial moment, axis of rotation is along this direction. So axis of rotation for rotating observer, because at initial instant I1 cap, the coordinate axes of the rotating observer and ground observer are coinciding with each other. So at initial moment, axes of rotation of ground observer and rotating observer are coinciding with each other, which means that the rotating observer, according to rotating observer, the axis of rotation will be along AI1 cap plus BJ1 cap plus CK1 cap. Now, axis of rotation is a physical line on rigid cube and all particles of the cube are at rest with respect to observer on the cube. So, its orientation will remain unchanged in cube's frame of reference. So, in cube's frame of reference, this orientation, this A, B and C, which are the x component, y component and z component of axis of rotation, will remain unchanged. But at we know that at initial moment I1 cap is equal to I1 I cap, J1 cap is equal to J cap and K1 cap is equal to K cap. And at final instant we have already calculated the unit vectors along x, y and z direction of rotating observer are along these directions. So I1 cap is equal to I by root 2 J plus J by root 2. Similarly J1 cap was this, and all this we have already calculated. Now, axis of rotation is a physical line on rigid cube and all particles on the cube are at rest with respect to observer on the cube. So, its orientation will remain unchanged in cube's frame of reference. So, final orientation of axis of rotation will also be AI1 cap plus BJ1 cap plus CK1 cap. So, at final moment also, with respect to rotating observer, axis of rotation will be along this line. So, let us find out what this vector is at final instant. So at final instant, what I have done, I have substituted the value of I1, J1 and K1 here. So I will get this vector. Now this is the axis of rotation expressed in terms of I cap, J cap and K cap. So it was expressed here in terms of I1 cap, J1 cap and K1 cap. But what I have done here, I have substituted the value of I1 cap, J1 cap and K1 cap to find out its value in terms of I cap, J cap and K cap. So this is axis of rotation at the final instant, but in ground frame of reference. But this direction should be same as AI cap plus BJ cap plus CK cap, which is the direction of axis of rotation with respect to ground observer at the initial instant. Why? Because with respect to ground also, the axis of rotation will retain its orientation. So this is a vector equation and I can equate I cap, J cap and K cap coefficients with each other. Okay, left hand, the I cap coefficient of left hand side and J cap coefficient of left hand side and K cap coefficient of left hand side should be equal to the corresponding I cap, J cap and K cap coefficients on the right hand side. So this is exactly what I have done here. So this will give me three equations as you can see here. First equation is obtained after equating the I cap coefficient, so, which is A here and here it is A by root 2 plus 2B by 3 plus root 2 by 6 into c. Similarly for j cap and k cap also I will get two more equations. So I have three equations here. So in fact this is equivalent to two equations because one equation is redundant here. So one equation is nothing but linear combination of other two equations. So third equation, you can check it yourself. Third equation will be a linear combination of equation 1 and equation 2. So what I can do, I have two equations. Actually, I have two equations and three variables here. So I can, what I am doing here, I am expressing a and b in terms of c. So from third equation, I can get b expressed in form of c. So b is equal to 3 plus 2 root 2 into c. Now if I eliminate a from 1 and 2, it will also give me same relationship between b and c as this equation 4. So one of these equation is redundant. Okay. So from second equation, I get a as 5 root 2 b plus c by 3. Now what I am doing here, I am replacing the value of b here. So I will get a expressed in terms of c. So I have b expressed in terms of c and a expressed in terms of c. So I can write this vector ai cap plus bj cap plus ck cap in terms of c. So this is exactly what I have done in next slide. So axis of rotation can be written in terms of c, where c is some constant. Okay. So axis of rotation written in terms of c is 5 root 2 plus 7 c I cap plus 3 plus 2 root 2 c times j cap plus c times k cap. Now I can eliminate c from here. So the direction of axis of rotation will be along 5 root 2 plus 7 I cap plus 3 plus 2 root 2 j cap plus k cap. Okay, so this is the axis of rotation, the direction of axis of rotation. Now the next part is how to find the angle by which the body has rotated. Now here what I am doing, I am finding the angle of rotation of the body. Now consider any general body, any arbitrary shaped body which is doing fixed axis rotation about this vertical axis. Now as we can see in the figure, different lines on this physical body, they rotate by different amounts during the rotation of the body. So as body is rotating, different lines are rotating by different amounts. For example, this line OA got rotated by an angle theta 1 and its final orientation is along OA1. So OA was the orientation before rotation and OA1 is the orientation after rotation, and theta 1 is basically the angle of rotation. Similarly, OB is the orientation before rotation and OB1 is the orientation after rotation, and theta 2 is basically the angle of rotation. Okay. So this line gets rotated by an angle theta 1 and this line gets rotated by an angle theta 2. Now the angle turned by the body will be equal to, now basically, okay, so as we can see in the figure, different lines on any physical body rotate by different amounts during rotation of the body, which I have explained here. In fact, all lines which are parallel to axis of rotation remain parallel to themselves. So any line which is parallel to this axis of rotation, its net angle by which it will get rotated will be equal to 0. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain here is that I cannot choose any line arbitrarily and any arbitrary line, and I cannot find out the angle by which the body is rotating by finding the angle by which this line gets rotated. So the angle turned by the body will be equal to angle turned by line perpendicular to the axis of rotation. As you can see here, OA gets rotated and becomes OA1. Similarly, OB also gets rotated and become OB1. So these two angles of rotations are different, and they are not equal to the angle of rotation of this body. But consider this line which is shown by this yellow color line. This line is in a plane which is perpendicular to this axis of rotation. Now angle rotated by this line will represent the angle by which the body has rotated about this axis of rotation. So this is exactly what I am trying to explain here. The angle turned by the body will be equal to angle turned by line which is perpendicular to axis of rotation. So this line, which is the yellow color line, it will rotate it by a certain amount, and that amount of rotation will be the angle by which the body is rotating about this fixed axis. In fact, any line on this plane, this shaded plane, uh, which is perpendicular to axis of rotation, any line on this plane, this shaded plane, will rotate by the same amount, and that amount is equal to the angle by which the body has rotated about this fixed axis, uh, fixed axis of rotation. So now what I am doing here, I know my axis of rotation, this I have already calculated. Now what I will do, I will try to find out a vector which is perpendicular to this axis of rotation. So what I have done here, I have chosen a vector. So there are so many vectors which are perpendicular to axis of rotation. I have chosen a vector which has just two components. So in order to make my calculation simple, I have chosen a vector which does not have my I component. So I have these two vectors. So now the vector perpendicular to axis of rotation should be such that its dot product with this vector should be equal to 0. So this is what I have done here. So what I have done, I have replaced the coefficient of j cap and k cap, and basically I have put a minus sign here. So coefficient of k cap was 1, so I have made coefficient of j cap 1 here. So the vector which is perpendicular to axis of rotation is j cap minus 3 plus 2 root 2 k cap. So this is a vector which is perpendicular to axis of rotation. Now this was the initial position of this vector. Now I have to find the final position of this vector. So I will have two vectors, and then I can find the angle between those two vectors to find out the angle of rotation of the body. Now in rotating observer's frame, the initial unit vectors were I1 cap, J1 cap and K1 cap. So initially I1 cap was equal to I cap and J1 cap equal to J cap and K1 cap was equal to K cap. And finally this we have already calculated in the previous video, and this video also I explained it, that finally I1 cap will be I cap by root 2 plus J cap by root 2. J1 cap will be 2I cap minus 2J cap plus K cap by 3, and K1 cap will be root 2 by 6 I cap minus root 2 by 6 J cap minus 2 root 2 by 3 K cap. Now vector A initially in rotating frame, because initially unit vectors are along, they are basically coinciding with each other for both observers, rotating as well as ground observer. So initially in rotating observer's frame, in rotating frame initially the vector will be along J1 cap plus 3 plus 2 root 2 K1 cap. Why? Because J and J1 cap are coinciding with each other. Similarly, K and K1 cap is also coinciding with each other. But we are talking about vector A in rotating frame. So in rotating frame, initial vector and final vector will remain same. Okay, so finally also the vector A in rotating frame of reference, it will be represented by this same expression using J1 cap and K1 cap. So this expression will remain same for rotating observer, but for ground observer it will change. Why? Because finally in ground frame of reference, I1 cap is not equal to I cap, but it is equal to I by root 2 and J by root 2, and same goes for J1 cap and K1 cap also. All these three vectors have changed. But in rotating frame of reference, finally this will represent my final vector. Now in ground frame of reference, this is the initial vector. Now finally what I am doing here, I am trying to calculate this final vector in terms of ground frame. So what I am doing, I am replacing the vector of J1 cap and K1 cap here. So what I have got here, finally it will be, so J1 cap, it will be J1 cap minus 3 plus 2 root 2 K1 cap. So J1 cap is 2I minus 2J plus K by 3, and K1 cap is 3 plus 2 root 2 plus 3 plus 2 root 2 multiplied by K1 cap, which is this. So finally I am getting A final as minus 1 by root 2 I cap plus 1 by root 2 J cap plus 3 plus 2 root 2 K cap. So I have my initial vector in ground frame and final vector in ground frame. So I can easily now calculate. Now this A initial and A final, both of them are perpendicular to axis of rotation. Now I can easily find angle of rotation using this formula. So I know I have two vectors and I have to find angle between these two vectors. So the formula is angle of rotation equal to cos inverse A final dot A initial divided by mod of A final into mod of A initial. So using this, I can do all these calculations, and finally the answer is coming out to be theta equal to cos inverse minus 23 root 2 plus 34 upon 36 plus 24 root 2. So as you can see here, this is cos inverse of a number which is negative. So which means that theta is an obtuse angle. Okay, so theta is an obtuse angle here. Okay, which means theta is greater than 90 degree. So in this way we can find out uh, axis of rotation and the angle turned by rigid body. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. If you have any doubts regarding any concept which is discussed in this video, you can put your comment in the comment section of the video. And this was a little bit difficult question, a difficult problem, and basically I think you will have to watch this video 2-3 times to completely understand the idea behind the uh, behind this particular problem, why I gave this problem, and what concept actually I'm trying to discuss in this problem. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. Please keep on watching my video. I will be posting some more challenging problems in my next videos, and I will start discussing Pathfinder problems and Lido problems next. Okay, so till then, goodbye. Thank you so much.